Good afternoon to Madam YUSRI and everyone. I am ALYAA and today my partner is PUTRI. Today we are going to talk about the rising obesity trend among Malaysian adults. So as we all know, obesity means having too much body fat. It is a growing global problem, and in Malaysia, the number of obese adults is increasing quickly. This is mainly because our lifestyles and diets have changed. We eat more high-calorie food and we also exercise less. So the purpose of our talk today is simple. We want to show you exactly how much Malaysian adult obesity rates have gone up, and we will look at the shocking numbers predicted for 2025. Alright, so the World Health Organization or WHO defines obesity as having a BMI of 30 or above. This is not only a health issue but also affects productivity, quality of life, and also leads to high medical costs. So in Malaysia, adult obesity is expected to reach about 41% by 2025, one of the highest in Southeast Asia, showing how serious the situation is. So now we move to the first graph. Right. So the first graph is multiple line chart titled Projected Trends in the Prevalence of Obesity, BMI over 30 kg. So the x-axis shows the years 2020 to 2035, and the y-axis shows the percentage of obese individuals from 50% to 45%. So the graph includes men, women, boys, and also girls. But for today, we focus on adults only, and especially from 2020 to 2025. Alright, so during this period, obesity among adults increasing steadily, with women slightly higher than men. By 2035, the rate is projected to reach 41%, showing a clear upward trend. Alright, so based on the NHMS 2019, 19.7% of Malaysian adults were already obese, and almost half were overweight or obese. So the rise is actually linked to several factors, where the first one is like many adults consume high-calorie foods like fast food and sugary drinks. Physical activities levels are actually low due to the sedentary lifestyles, and Malaysia has undergone a nutrition transition, as Core 2012 has stated, where more calories now come from sugar and also animal products. So the impact is actually serious. Okay, obesity increases the risk of diabetes, heart diseases, and also the other chronic illnesses. So with obesity expected to keep rising until it reaches 41% by 2035, it is clear that Malaysia needs a strong and urgent public health action. Now I pass the floor to PUTRI.
Alright. Here we have an area graph titled Projected Economic Impact of Overweight, which focuses on Malaysia from 2020 to 2025. On the horizontal axis, the graph shows the timeline from 2020 to 2035. On the vertical axis, it presents the economic cost in millions of US dollars. Okay, the total economic cost increases from just over 6 billion US dollar in 2020 to almost 10 billion US dollar by 2025, showing a clear upward trend. The graph also uses different colors to represent each cost component. As you can see, for the red, at the larger section, it is a premature death. On the yellow to green, it represents the presenteeism. On the yellow, it represents absenteeism. On the dark blue one, it represents healthcare costs. And for the light blue, it represents other health expenditures. Okay, next. For the analysis data, obesity in Malaysia is increasing at an alarming rate. So, adult obesity is projected to rise by 4.7% every year, and childhood obesity by 5.3% from 2020 to 2025. In fact, back in 2019, Half of Malaysian adults are already overweight or obese. This means a large portion of our population is at high risk of health problems such as diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. Okay, obesity does not only affect health but also the income and productivity of the country. Malaysia spends 4.2 billion ringgit every year just to treat obesity related diseases. On top of that, we lose about 8.91 billion ringgit Malaysia due to the reduced productivity, including the absenteeism, which people taking sick leave, presenteeism, people are working but with low performance, and the premature death. So overall, the economic impact is more than 13 billion every year, which is a massive loss for our country. So lastly, the economic cost is rising rapidly. The data shows total obesity related costs increasing from about 6 billion US dollar to nearly 10 billion US dollar in 2025. And if nothing changes, it could reach until 21 billion US dollar by 2035. This shows the urgent need for effective interventions such as health education, in early prevention to protect both public health and workforce productivity. Okay, next. In conclusion, Malaysian adult obesity may reach 41% by 2035, impacting health and the economy. Immediate action through healthy lifestyle is needed to reduce the long-term effects. Okay, next. Okay, this is our references, as you all can see. And next, we open the floor for the Q&A session. Is there any question?
I have a question.
Okay.
So, why is obesity considered both a public health issue and an economic issue in Malaysia?
Let me answer that. Okay, thank you for the question, Husna. So, you said why obesity considered both public and also economic issue in Malaysia, right? So, in my opinion, obesity is a public health issue because it increases the risk of serious disease, as I stated earlier, like diabetes, hypertension, also cardiovascular problem. But it is also an economic issue because treating the obesity-related illnesses and also dealing with the productivity losses, as what Putri has mentioned earlier, can cost such a big amount annually, and it can impact our national development. So I hope that answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's all from us. Thank you everyone for listening.